Yo, so we have another film from Alternate Currents this week and another re-release. And this, boy, I'm extremely happy about this one because I loved the film the first time I saw it. It is Lucky Number Slevin, right? I think it was at one point going to be called The Wrong Man, which, I think it kind of works, right? It fits the story, but Lucky Number Slevin just has that ring about it, right? You're just like, yo, what? What is that? You know what I mean? So I'm glad they went with this title. It is directed by Paul McGuigan, right? Who went on to do no, I think Gangster Number One was before this, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a great film. And he directed episodes of Sherlock, and he directed some great episodes of Sherlock. Also, Netflix Luke Cage, right? Which, I guess it's now on Disney. But yeah, Luke Cage, which was awesome. So yeah, he's done some good stuff. It was written by Jason Smilovic, right? Who I think he's only ever written two films, you know. Having this as one of the only films you've written, not bad. Right? It's produced by Christopher Eberts, Andreas Grosch, Kai Jam, Robert Kravis, Tyler Mitchell, Anthony Roulant, Chris Roberts, executive produced by William Shively, Andrea Schmid, Ellie Klein, Sharon Harrell, right? AJ Dix, Don Carmody, and Jane Barkley. Co-produced by Charles Jude Fuhr and Hannah Leader. So Jay Ralph took care of the music. Peter Sova, cinematography. Andrew Holm edits the piece. Deborah Aquilia and Trisha Wood were on casting duties. Francis Seguin, production design. Art decoration is Pierre Pert and Columb Rabbi. Set decoration, we have Suzanne Coulter and Normand Rubitelli. Costume design is Adette Gaddery. Now, our cast, and this was a fantastic cast. Like Josh Hartnett is Slevin. Bruce Willis is Mr. Goodkat. Lindsay is Lucy Liu. The boss is Morgan Freeman. The rabbi, Ben Kingsley. You know, those names, right? Brikowski is played by Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci. Jesus Christ. Michael Rubenfield is Yitzholt. Dombreski is played by Peter Alpterbridge. Marty is played by Kevin Chamberlain. Elvis, Dorian Mizik. Slow is played by Miketty Williamson. Max is played by Scott Gibson. Nick Fisher is played by Sam Jagger. Right? It's a funny role because it's a small part, but huge ramifications all the way through. Roth is played by Danny Aurelio. Henry, right, who is Max's son, is played by Oliver Davis. Saul is played by Corey Stoll. Abe, Howard Jerome. Slevin's girlfriend, who we see towards the stars, played by Jennifer Miller. The guy is played by Sebastian Roberts. Murphy, Robert Forster. Hottie is Shia Lee. Blondie is Janet Lane. Doc is Nicholas Rice. Morty is Bernard Kay. Slim Hopkins is played by Darren Marsman. Oh, sorry, people. Benny Begin is played by Jerry Mendicino. Ginger is Diego Kattenhoff. The Mute is Rami Posner. Soldier is Rick Barmuki. Abe's wife is Victoria Barkoff. Helen, Victoria Foda. Yeah, that's the main group. All right, so what happens is, in an airport waiting room, a man in a wheelchair tells a stranger a story about a fixed horse race in 1979 that resulted in a family's death. In Manhattan, two bookies and the son of a mob boss die. A young man just out of the shower answers the door to a neighbor woman and explains that he's visiting, has had a bad week, including being mugged, and doesn't know where his pal who lives there is. The neighbor is chatty. She's a coroner. Two thugs arrive and, believing the visitor to be the guy who lives there, takes him to see the boss with the dead son, who tells him to kill the son of his mob rival. Mistaken identity. What connects the threads? Cops are watching. So yeah, that's lucky number Slevin. And as I said, man, I loved this film. Right? This film just, I don't know, told me so many different things. Right? Dropped in 2006. Right? 2006. Hey, it feels like a lifetime ago. And yeah, it was just really smart. I thought that was one of the things that I think jumped out. I thought it was real smart and just had this funky kind of style, right? Had this just funky kind of style, like the rabbi and the boss, very distinctive, each their own personalities. And a lot of times, right, when you've got the mob boss, it's very like gold everywhere and that kind of thing. Now, these places, the boss and the rabbi, definitely not poor. They live in penthouses. But it was different. It was still different, right? And you're just like, interesting. I like that. I like that they've got these different vibes. It's not necessarily, the typical boss that we see. So there was that. And then you've just got these quirky characters like Lindsay, which the Lindsay thing really, that was a big thing, right? Because before that, Lindsay Lou, she'd been in Boston Legal, I think it was, right? And a few other things. I found her irritating. I found her so irritating in like the other shows I'd seen her in. And I was just like, I don't like Lindsay Lou. Right. And a lot of people are like, oh, Lindsay Lou's so cute, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, nah, I don't see it. And I watched Lucky Number Slevin, and I really like the Lindsay character, like just the quirkiness of her and all of that, which then is that made me realize, oh shit, it's not like I feel I'm just attracted to the personality, right? Which is, a side note, right? You probably don't give a fuck, but it was this that really, because like you realize that, oh, I don't really have a type, but sometimes it's hard to kind of pinpoint the things that you do actually like. And this was just like, oh shit, it's the personality, yo. Okay. But anyway, right? I just enjoyed the characters, all the different characters. Now, I mean, watching it, and if you paid attention, you understood who Slevin was, right? But you weren't quite sure how it all fit together, right? You just weren't quite sure. Or should I say, you suspected who Slevin was, right? It wasn't until later in the film that it all becomes clear. But at the beginning, you are like, hold on. Could that be? I don't know. So I think all of that, just the way it flowed, the way it was all laid out, right? Just those different shots, the use of color, because it's not just, say the different colors that the boss and the rabbi use, and, Nick Fisher's apartment, and, the clothes Lindsay wears, but it's also the darkness, right? Some places, the way the light came through the window and reflections and different things like that, that really help give this film its voice, right? It's the use of music where it's not like this is sad, this is happy, this is angry. No, but like there was these funky little kind of soundtracks to different kind of situations, which was like, I like that. I enjoyed that. Right, the Kansas City Shuffle song is just so fucking great. It's just so funky, man. I just, you know what I mean? Just all of these elements to me gave this film its edge. And then when it all rolled out at the end, right, that was just like, oh, now we finally know everything. Because as I said, there's a point where you understand who Slevin is, but then it's still trying to work out, okay, so what happened? How does this all tie? And I think then when that all, the dominoes fall, you're just like, oh shit. Oh my gosh, yes. This is really good. And then just everything, you're like, yo. But then even the very end, right? When you because you see something, you're just like, no. But then you get that other clarity. So I just thought it worked so well. It worked so well. It was, man, I loved it. I straight loved it. And it was great. And, I haven't watched it in so long, over 10 years. So watching it again, there was bits I'd forgotten. For sure, there was bits I'd forgotten. But it still held up, right? It still held up, I think sometimes, like watching it now, you can think, maybe the dialogue can be a little much in places, right? But I mean, that could also be being overcritical. And when you think of all the things that we've seen now, right? Because there weren't many films doing it like this back then. Now, this is more of a norm, right? This kind of approach is something that a load of people try and do. Not everyone does it well, you know what I mean? But a lot of people try it. So, we've become used to it, and we've seen people really hit that language, that communication, make it sharp as fuck. But, back then, Yeah, not many people were doing it. You know, a lot of people want to equate this to a Tarantino film, but I don't really see it like that. I don't think they're trying to ape Tarantino because, you know, again, Tarantino wasn't the first to do that. He just did it very well, you know? But yeah, I mean, Lucky Number Slevin back in 2006 was incredible. And even in 2023, this film made me fucking happy. I really enjoyed it. I think people, if you like stuff like is it the Boondock States? The Saints? I have lost the ability to talk. Boondock Saints, yes, I think that is it, right? I think if you like that, if you like stuff like the Matchstick Men, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, right? Um, The Inside Man, you know, that awesome Spike Lee film. Which, you know, Blonde Purple, right? If those are films that you really enjoy, I think you will love Lucky Number Slevin. This is what Smoking Aces wanted to be. Because I thought Smoking Aces had the potential to be great, but it just didn't reach those heights. But yeah, Lucky Number Slevin does. Oh, it does in a glorious way. So, people, this is re-released on digital. So coming to a digital platform, you know, whatever one you use, on the 18th, Monday, the 18th of September. So, you know what I mean? I've got the DVD, obviously, people. But you know what I mean? If you ain't got this in your life, I feel you should go check it because it's very good. Incredible performances. I mean, when you look at that, the cast is awesome, right? Hartnett, who I didn't always like in things, but just watching this, you know, him and Lucy Liu in this just changed my opinions of those actors. So I was like, oh shit. Bruce Willis gives an outstanding performance. So does Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, Stanley Tucci, right? They're all fantastic. And then the supporting cast as well. Man, it's phenomenal. So, yes, Lucky Number Slevin, mark it down, 18th of September. Yo, you can bring this baby into your lives, people. Enjoy. Let me know what you think as well. You know what I mean? Peace.